we're going to create wealth, you must understand wealth is not for the lazy man. It's for the person that has a dream and that is willing to roll up his sleeves and to go after the fulfillment of that dream. There is no substitute for hard work. Okay? The woman that wants to be financially independent must know that she needs to put in the required effort to make it happen. So, be a person of your word and be a person of action. Do it. Do it. Make a move. Okay? If somebody says, oh, the problem is I can't find a job, volunteer somewhere. Volunteer somewhere. You know why that is powerful? You may not be getting the pay at the end of the day, but the fact that you are giving provokes a cycle. Your job will come out from somewhere. It happened to me. I couldn't get a job for a long time. And then one day I just decided, you know what? Why stay at home? I'm going to offer my services for free at my church. I went, I spoke to my pastor. It was a Thursday that I said, I think I want to come in to the church office to help. The next day, he introduced me to all the staff. 2 days after, the Sunday, somebody came and said, I was informed that there's an opening for a site engineer on this particular site, because my background was in civil engineering. I got the job. It's amazing the way it works. I mean, in this instance, it wasn't even that I had offered the services, it was that I showed willingness, made the move, and the job popped out. I'm talking about principles here. They have no respect for persons. What you sow is what you reap. Okay? So, but back to those of us that either are career people working maybe in a particular office or workshop or working in somebody's business. Okay? You're offering services already. I want you to understand the powerful dynamics behind what you're doing. You've got to think beyond your salary. You've got to think of financial independence. You've got to think of your future. And let your vision of that future influence how well you do your work. You've got to do it well. The person that is thinking of where he or she is going to be in 10 years' time or 20 years' time, how prosperous he or she is going to be, can't do the job the same way someone that is just there to get a salary would do the job. Be a person of vision. Immerse yourself in this job. Unleash your loyalty on this job. More than that, upgrade your skills. Make yourself indispensable. Okay? Let it be that you're the one person that can be trusted by the leadership when they have very important assignments to give out. I'm sure you know that with time, all that evolves in any organization, that with time, the CEO is able to identify the people that will really do the job. When they have very critical assignments to carry out, it's those dependable people that they look for. Be that person. Be that person. I guarantee you, you'll always have a job. But more than that, you'll be getting some money. But then more than that, there's a chance. There's a chance that when a breakthrough opportunity shows up somewhere, you'll get a high recommendation to go to the job. No room for laziness. Move yourself. Get out of your bed. If necessary, get out of your house or pick that phone, make that phone call. Okay? I mean, that's one of the very important things that I have learned to do. Okay, so now the money is coming back. So let's assume the money is not coming back. So what should you do with the money? Now you are getting money you never got before. What should you do with it? very, very important. What you do with it will determine whether you get more or not, or whether you go back to where you used to be, totally bankrupt. The first thing that's important is for you to have a spending plan. Plan how you will spend the money before the money arrives. Some of it you need to pay your bills, you need to buy food. Some others you need to cultivate so that you can reproduce even more money or more wealth. So, as you get the money, have a spending plan. I encourage your first item should be giving. What you're going to give out. Every smart farmer knows when he or she harvests his or her crops, he or she takes aside some for planting the next season. And it's got to be more than you sowed the last time so that you can harvest more than you are harvesting this time. Save. Saving must be there. It's absolutely critical. One of the habits of highly successful people and wealthy people is that they don't spend all their money. They don't spend all the money that comes in. So while they are working to increase their income, they are working to lower their expenses. Save some. And then invest what you save. Invest what you save. Buy some piece of land somewhere. Buy some property somewhere. And just leave them there long term. 10 years, 15, 20. That's what you should have in mind. It would be good for you to have a knowledge of the stock market, because it's good to invest there also. Or you might just find someone that is about to start a new business but does not have the capital. I think that's one of the best forms of investment. Somebody says, but what if it doesn't work out? What if I lose my money? Then you should know what to look out for. It's not enough that the person is your friend. You've got to know what to look out for. Character is important. If you're going to give your money to someone, you had better be sure of the person's integrity. Okay? So, and then you've got to be sure of the person's competence in the area of the financial sector that he or she functions in. The person has got to have competence. The person's got to be able to come take a look at things, and know what will work and what will not work, and should be able to advise you. If, for example, somebody wants to sell shares to me, I want to ask whether the person has shares. How do you sell to me effectively if you've not experienced what is important to me? Okay? So, I want to encourage that you don't part with your hard-earned money, giving your money to people that have no experience, no expertise in the area of what they want to sell you. Listen, a lot of such people, they get commissions, so they just after volume. But sometimes even they have no such investment. Why should I invest in a financial instrument when even you that are selling it don't trust it enough? So, save your money. Take care of your basic bills, and please invest some of your money regularly. It's not enough to make money. We've got to learn to multiply money. Whenever you need it, whenever it makes sense, buy insurance, just in case something goes wrong, so you don't bear all the burden alone. Okay? You want to protect your wealth. Someone said for you to do something you have never done before, you must become someone you have never been before. That's what we're talking about. And how to become someone you have never been before is what we're describing. It's in your mind. It's in your imagination, because that is the place where you overcome all your limitations. That is the place where you can choose to make the rich man or rich woman your friend. That is where you can visit them at home. That's where you change your car. It's there in the imagination. But more than just thinking, we said you've got to believe. You've got to accept as your reality the fact that you have money, the fact that you're wealthy. Wow. Now, obviously, you and I have a lot of battles to fight on that score. Why? Because your financial reality will try to stamp itself on your mind all the time. All the time. How do you hold the thought in your mind, I am wealthy, when there's no money, there's little or no money in your account? How do you hold that thought? How do you hold that thought when maybe you go out, you meet people, and they're better dressed than you are? Maybe you attend an event and I mean, people come with exotic cars. You don't go there with any exotic car. And you tend to feel less. You tend to have a lower self-esteem. That is where the fight is. It's the inside that controls the outside. We should not allow the outside to control the inside. The outside can program the inside. That's what we need to watch out for. That's where the big risk is. That we can so adapt to the outside that we absorb it inside and we don't realize it. It just creates the dynamics for us, just creates the dynamics of poverty, just perpetuates what has been there that is undesirable. Okay? To have money flow towards you, you need to decide that you are prosperous. So I'm talking about the decision. There's power in decision making. You've got to make a choice. Bring it down to this level. Being rich is a choice. Being poor is a choice. I know that there are people around the world that suffer injustices, and poverty for them is not a choice. I'm aware of that. There are people that are being deprived right now of their freedom around the world. But for most parts of the world, it's a choice. We still have the power to make the choice. Somebody says, but the point is, I don't have a qualification. I don't have the social pedigree. Excuse me. Don't focus on what you don't have. You have your imagination, use it. Decide. Make up your mind. There's power in decision making. Make up your mind that you are getting prosperous. It's amazing. So somebody says, but that's the challenge. I just can't figure out how. How will come to you? Define what first. How will come to you. That's the way it works. Don't bother about the how. The how will come to you by inspiration. The how will come to you maybe through a book. The how will come to you maybe through a mentor. The words, you cannot shirk that responsibility. So we're assuming that you believe in abundance mentality. Let it work. Put it to work. Believe that you are prosperous. Believe that you are wealthy. You sell different things in different ways. Okay? So to a military officer, you know how to approach it. If it's a child that is buying, you know how to approach it. If it's an adult, you know how to approach it. If you're selling to a man, you know what to emphasize. If you're selling to a woman, you know what to emphasize. But the important thing is, you've got to be selling. You've got to be selling something. And with time, you hone your skills. Because selling is a skill. Selling is a skill, and I hope to see a whole lot more of it in the environment. And that is if you have something that has value to add to other people's lives. You've got to be selling something. I can't find a way around it when it comes to the principles that govern money. There is no shortcut here. Money is a means of exchange of value. Somebody says, oh, what if maybe something negative happened, maybe I lost a parent or something, and I have this huge setback in my life. The only way to right the wrongs in your life, to put yourself back on track, is for you to align back with principles. So I'm saying here today, if you've never sold anything before, it's time for you to sell now. It's time for you to sell now. Okay? It's time for you to sell now. It may be a product, it may be a service, but it's time for you to sell now. Okay. So it's food that I want to offer to people in my city. Why should they come to buy the food? That's important. Why should they leave other restaurants to come buy my own food? We've got to do our work with excellence. There is nothing you do that you don't require skills. I mean, career-wise, skills. If it's selling food, develop the capacity to cook food and to package it and to present it. So, you need a skill. That's what I'm saying here. The long and short of it is, you need a skill.